Okay, here we go. What's up, everyone? I have just got to get this live video going, and it is on. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Adulting with Donnie. I know I'm a few days late, and it's Saturday. I haven't done a Saturday episode in fucking forever. It sure feels like it's been a long time since I did a Saturday episode, but I have time now, so I'm doing it tonight. Late as hell. I'm doing it at like 10:30 at night on a Saturday. So, for those of you listening on Monday, I appreciate you. For those of you that might check in live tonight, I really appreciate you. Doing this so differently. Firstly, in a location that I haven't done this in a long time, which is Ro's second bedroom. I feel like it's been, I think it's been at least a year since I did it in here. Which is fine. It's a great spot for it. I do, for those of you watching on the live video, I do wish it was as cold here in New Hampshire as it is in the mountains behind me. I am excited for snowmobile season. Even more excited now. This past week, so way back in February, me and Ro we entered ourselves into this cutest couples contest on the advice of my uncle. My uncle calls me one day and he goes, "Hey, do you remember this radio station called WZID?" Which everyone in New Hampshire has heard of. So he's like, "Hey, do you remember this radio station?" And I said, "Yeah, I remember it." He goes, "They are holding this contest called Cutest Couple, and you and your girlfriend absolutely have to enter it because you guys are for sure the most cutest couple I've ever seen. So you really have to enter it." So I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." So I looked into it. I talked to Ro about it. She said yes. And so I found a picture of us together one day. She's in her uniform, in her police uniform. I'm in my mail carrier uniform. And then like behind us is kind of this, there's like this church steeple in the background. And it's kind of like an iconic picture of Portsmouth. I don't know why, but I see these people downtown Portsmouth. Anytime you go downtown Portsmouth, especially on the weekend, you can catch somebody for sure taking pictures of this church steeple. So I'm not sure what's so iconic about it, but whatever. It's not my place to decide that. So, but anyway, so there's this. So we get this picture of the two of us, and the church steeple's in the back, and it's a cute picture. And so I enter us into this contest, and I mean it's a popularity contest, really. It's a who has the most Facebook friends. Because for sure, there's people voting for us from all over the country. I have friends out in the Midwest and Colorado and Washington State and Wyoming, and she's got friends literally I bet she has a friend in almost all of the lower 48 states, maybe even all 50 states. She has friends. In fact, I know for sure by design, she at least has, the child of a friend living in Hawaii. So I'm betting she could get her reach probably goes all the way to all 50 states. So, but anyways, we get so we're sharing it. It was like a Monday through Friday contest, and people could vote once a day. And she's posting. We're both posting every day. Hey, you can vote. You can vote once a day. Go vote for us. Whatever. We destroyed the competition. Like there was like 80 people who entered this contest. Maybe 90 people that entered this contest, and we got like, I don't remember the exact numbers, but we got like 452 or 480 something votes for us. And then second place got like 260. So we crushed the competition. There was a little scare there. Like on day one, like we had like 80 votes, I think. And our only competitor had like 88. So but by the time the end of the competition arrives, we absolutely demolished everyone, which was cool. And not only did we get the bragging rights of being the cutest couple in New Hampshire, we also got a 2-night stay in Jackson, New Hampshire. So, which my bad. I didn't know anything about Jackson. I didn't look into it at all. I didn't know how. So North Conway, New Hampshire is kind of like a popular spot where there's all these little shops, and there's also all these outlet stores, and it's like a big shopping destination. There's a ton of people that'll go there in like November, December to do their Christmas shopping because the prices are cheap, and it's a beautiful place and whatever. So I didn't realize Jackson was like 5 minutes outside of North Conway. So So we went there, and I didn't do any research into how close we were to North Conway, and so we went and checked it out, and the place that we stayed was absolutely awesome. It was crazy. Like it's called the Snowflake Inn, and there's, first of all, no children allowed, so it's adults only. They have some amenities that are like, social. So they have like a pool type of thing. It's not. I wouldn't even call it a pool because it's like, I don't know. It's like a circle, and it's like 16 feet in diameter, and it's probably only like 4 or 5 feet deep. Like it's mostly a hot tub that fits like 15 people. So we decided, we didn't partake in that part of it, but we did sit out on the porch. Like it rained on Wednesday. It poured actually. So we sat on the porch and watched the rain fall, and that was nice. Had a couple beers with us there. They had a gorgeous gym, or at least it looked gorgeous. I wasn't allowed to go inside because vaccinated people only can use it. So I guess we probably could have lied, but we did not. We were honest, and they asked us, "Have either of you been vaccinated?" And we said no, and they were like, "Okay, well the only thing is that you can't use the gym." Okay, fine, no problem. I mean, we spent a lot of time in our room, anyways, and the room was beautiful. We had our bed, and then like right next to the bed is a jacuzzi, like a 2-person jacuzzi, and I can tell you that in the past, I don't know if I've ever had a jacuzzi right next to the bed like that, but I've definitely had rooms that had a jacuzzi in the room. Never used it ever. And so we went there. It was a 2-night stay, so we went there on Tuesday night. We left on, so we stayed there Tuesday night, Wednesday night, right? So Wednesday night, Ro was like, "I'm going to take a shower." And she goes and takes a shower, and I was like, I'm starting up that jacuzzi. Like, I didn't tell her. I just did it. And so I fire up I get the water running in the jacuzzi, and then I get in, and then she's yelling, like, she finishes her shower, like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes, however long, like, let's call it 20 minutes. 20 minutes later, she opens the bathroom door, and she, like, yells out to me, like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I was like, "What? I can't hear you." She's like, "What are you doing?" And I genuinely could not hear her, because, I mean, the jacuzzi is still filling up, not to mention the pumps are running on it, too, so I can't hear her. She yells again, and then she was like, "Are you watching porn?" I was like, "No." I was like, I can't hear you. You gotta come on." And then she came out and saw me in there, and she got all excited. She was jumping. I mean, literally jumping up and down. So like she came out. She got in the jacuzzi with me. We spent like 40 minutes in there together, just hanging out, talking, which was awesome. We had a little candle going. The whole thing was just, I mean, it was really a beautiful place, and some place that I think we'll definitely go back to. The people, the like innkeepers, the wicked nice people, super accommodating. Part of our stay, part of our like prize package was that we got a bottle of champagne. So they brought us a bottle of champagne. They gave us these 2 tumblers. That's what I would call them. They're glasses. They're, glasses to drink out of. So we got those to keep, little Snowflake Inn tumblers, and enjoyed our champagne. We did a little live video. If you probably caught the live video. If you're watching or listening to the show right now, you probably caught the live video that we did from the inn. So that was a good time. And I don't even remember how I ended up there, but hey, that's where we ended up. But yeah, that was my week. That was my week. That was why I didn't do a show on Wednesday. That was why I didn't do a show on Tuesday. Thursday was kind of we got home, we got back here and just hung out mostly. Yesterday was Friday, and I did some moving, and then she had a softball game last night that we went to, and then we went to I still call it the Rochester Fair. So it's fair season. It's fair season here in New England. Fair season is back. Last year they skipped all of the fairs. There were no fairs last year because can't have people out around each other. It's a bad thing to do. So we went to the fair on last night, and actually we did the softball game, and her friend Kimmy and her friend Joshua came to the softball. Kimmy was playing in the softball game. Her friend Josh came to watch the softball game, and we watched it together. And then after the softball game, we were like, "Hey, you want to go to the Rochester Fair?" I guess it's called the Granite State Fair now, which is the first I've heard of that. But okay, that's what we did on Thursday night. Let me jump backwards real quick. Thursday night, we went to a soccer game in Rochester. Go Red Raiders. It was her cousin's son's soccer game, which I guess makes it also her cousin. Like she's like this is like a second cousin. He was in the soccer. He was playing in the soccer game and crushed it. He played the whole game. So I don't know. There's like fucking 100 people on a soccer team, and he was out there for the whole game. So I think that says something. I saw a lot of people riding the bench that night. So there was like 4 people in that game on that team that I saw out there for the whole game. So, but anyways, they won, which was awesome. Soccer is an interesting game to watch. I've never, like, watching this high school game made me want to watch soccer more often because, hi, this is my buddy Graphite just walking around trying to figure out these mountains behind me. He's probably going to knock them over on my head if he has a chance. If he has any say in it, he'll probably knock these mountains over. But anyways, yeah, watching this soccer game the other night was like, what, like, it's just such a fast-paced game of like there's just constantly stuff going on. It's not like football, American football. It's not like American football where there's like football is 15 minutes per quarter. So it should be over in theory in like an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, all right? But a football game takes 4 fucking hours to finish. Because it's like every play is like, oh, let's blow the fucking whistle and we'll hold on here for the next 3 minutes while we do nothing. Let's go have a chat on the sidelines for a minute. Let's give each team fucking 9 timeouts per game. I'm sorry, per quarter, and each timeout is 10 or 15 minutes. Go have a cigarette break or something. It's crazy how long a football game takes. When it's 15 minutes per quarter and there's only 4 quarters and it takes 4 hours, why is each quarter taking an hour? It doesn't even make sense. The math doesn't work out. But anyways, I digress. Soccer, super fast-paced. Each half, I guess, they play in halves. So each half is 40 minutes, and it is nonstop for 40 minutes. It is fucking go, 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 go. So, but it was awesome to watch. I had a lot of fun watching it anyways. I know Ro did too. So certainly not the last one of those that we'll go to. So, but anyways, last night, softball game, Ro and Kimmy play. Me and Josh hang out on the sidelines watching the game, cheering them on. And then afterwards we were like, let's go to the Rochester Fair or Granite State Fair, whatever you want to call it. So we went to this thing, and not, you know what? That might have been the first time I've ever gone to the Rochester Fair. Not the type of fair that I'm used to. The fair that I'm used to is more like the Deerfield Fair here in New Hampshire, and the Deerfield Fair that's like farmers showing off their pigs and stuff, and I don't know how to describe it other than that. It's a lot of farmers. There's horse pulls, and there's people who have been practicing their horse riding skills for the past year just to make it to this point. There's things like that. The Rochester Fair is a lot of rides. There's a lot of strange people. There's a lot of really great people watching. They had a cornhole tournament, so that should tell you all you need to know about the Rochester Fair. But anyways, I noticed how some young girls dress, and all right, here's I'm gonna try and give you some tips if you're a parent out there to a young female, because these girls, wow, the way that they were dressed, I would never ever, if my daughters lived with me, I would never let them leave the house like this ever, or I shouldn't put it that way. I shouldn't say never let them leave the house like this, because I might let them leave the house like this. But they would never do it a second time. Here's why, all right? Here's the thing. All right, here's what you have to do first, all right? First, if you can, find a girlfriend who's a police officer and is the most popular police officer on the planet. All right. And I don't mean like, if you look at like Officer Parker and Officer Daniel or Mike the Cop on social media, like these guys have hundreds of thousands of followers, right? They have literally hundreds. I think Mike the Cop has over 1 million followers on social media. All right. These are super popular police officers. And here's the thing. They don't really fucking matter anywhere. If you take any of those three, now take any of those three and put them into any setting. All right. If you take the Rochester Fair as an example, the Rochester Fair is a great example because there's probably last night there was probably, I don't know, there was probably, I'd say 5,000 people there. You know, maybe there was about 4,000 or 5,000 people there last night. All right. So that's a good pool to pick from. 4,000 or 5,000 people. There's a good chance that at a bare minimum, 20, 40 people are going to recognize them. Or I'm sorry, are going to follow them on social media. I follow them on social media. I follow all three. I can't say for sure I would recognize Mike the Cop out of, you know, and here's the thing. And he has to go there. Like, imagine he goes there and he doesn't announce that he's going to be there. He's just showing up as himself. He's just like, I'm just going to go to this thing tonight. He's not announcing it. He's not posting it on social media. He's not saying, hey, I'm going to be at the Rochester Fair in New Hampshire tonight. If you see me, say hi. No, none of that bullshit. All right. He just shows up, right? Out of 4,000 or 5,000 people, not a single person, including myself, is going to recognize him, is going to turn twice at him. Nothing. You take a person like my girlfriend, who is an insanely popular person. We can't move 20 feet at the Rochester Fair without someone being like, oh my God, Rochelle, hi. And here's the other thing, though, is that she also knows them, right? So if you take Mike the Cop, you put him in that scenario, even if someone recognizes him, they might be like, oh shit, it's Mike the Cop. He's going to be like, hey, how you doing? You want an autograph? Whatever bullshit, fucking blah, blah, blah. He has no idea who the fuck this person is. You take Rochelle, she knew every fucking person that picked her out. Everyone that was like, hey, how you doing? Every fucking one of them she knew. And I'm not exaggerating. We're there. This guy, Josh, it's his first time ever being around Rochelle. I tried to warn him. He had no idea what he was walking into. He was, we're half an hour into the Rochester Fair. She's already run into like 7 people that she knows. And I turned to him and I was like, see what I mean? He was like, dude, I thought you were fucking exaggerating. I'm like, dude, I told you, man. Fucking everywhere we go, she knows people. We went to Portland, Maine. All right, which is like an hour away from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. We went to Portland, Maine to watch a fucking baseball game one day, and we're sitting there in the stands, and some guy from 40 feet behind us was like, is that Rochelle? And came up. We were at the Market Square Day today, which is like this big downtown event here in Portsmouth, and this guy leans into me and he goes, is that the world famous Rochelle Jones? I was like, yes, it is. It absolutely is. You're absolutely right. You know, and it's perfectly fine with me. I love it. I love it. I love how, because she's known for the right reasons. She's just a good person. She's known for being a good person. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So back to what I was saying. You have a super popular police girlfriend who, if you see your daughter walk out the door dressed the way some of these girls were dressed last night, I'm talking like, do they even sell full-size t-shirts anymore? Because I swear to God, if they don't sell them like this, girls are just buying them and then cutting off half the shirt. Remember when you were a kid and you were like, why'd you buy those ripped? Your parents especially would do this. My father was famous for this. Oh, why, those are nice jeans. Why did she fucking cut them all up like that? You know, you pay an extra $80 for jeans that are all fucking, that someone took a pair of scissors to. Okay, catch my breath there. I'm fucking going off on a tangent. You know, that was the thing, 20 or 30 years ago, was that girls, paying an extra $40 for a pair of jeans because they have all these rips in them. Now it's like they pay extra money to buy half of a t-shirt. So saw a lot of that last night. Saw a lot of skirts with fishnets, something you should not see at a fucking fair ever. All right. I don't understand that at all. There was a lot of goth. I didn't expect to see so much goth at the Rochester Fair, but I did. A lot of Doc Martens going on. But anyways, if one of my girls lived with me and was like, I'm going to the Rochester Fair, and walked out the door like that, I'd be like, cool, have a good time. And then I would call I would tell my girlfriend, or maybe she might even see them. In fact, in the best of scenarios, she would be standing right there and she would be like, have a good time. And then she would just call one of those Rochester police officers and be like, hey, when you see this girl, fucking embarrass her. That's what I would do. Or I would go full progressive commercial. I would go full progressive, don't be your dad. We don't want you to turn into your parent. I would go full progressive commercial and wear like a pair of khaki pants, hiked way up to my belly button type of thing. The golf jacket over a polo shirt, and just total dork. I might even shave my beard. Cut my hair into some very conservative hairstyle, and then show up to the Rochester Fair and then just completely embarrass my daughter. If she was dressed like that, I'd walk right up, completely embarrass them. I know that there's probably a lot of detrimental effects to that, but I don't know. I saw all of these kids last night that I'm like, why? What? Like, you're 15. Your whole life to dress like that. You're 15 years old. You're at the fucking Rochester Fair. But yeah, that's what we saw a lot of last night. Not to mention a lot of people who probably have a very long history of drug use. Beyond just the young girls dressed in insane ways that I don't know. I can only assume that my only assumption is that either they dress like this all the time and the parents just gave up on trying to talk any sense into them, or they were like, hey, I'm going over to fucking Lisa's house, and they're dressed all nice and stuff when they go to Lisa's house, and then they get to Lisa's house, and then her and Lisa go to the fair and like change in the bathroom. I don't know, but I don't know why you would do that either. Why? It's the fair. You're there to have fried dough and crappy cotton candy, and ride some rides that a meth head put together yesterday. With probably a lot of loose parts. So, anyways, that's what I would want to do if it was me. If it was me calling the shots. Jason Almy and my mate checking in on the comments. Jason, miss you, buddy. We got to do another cigar episode here before the weather gets too cold. Firstly, not only do we have to do a cigar episode, but we have to have dinner together. I know that my mate wants to meet your mate. And we gotta have some food together. Me and Jason can work on the meat portion of that meal, and the ladies can, I don't know, sip some wine or something. Whatever you do in your household. But yeah, we got to make that happen, because the weather is only getting colder. And the other night at that soccer game, I had to go get my snowmobile jacket out of my truck. I tried to tough it out. I had a t-shirt on, and before, I think it was right around the time the halfway mark hit, right around the end of the first half of the game. I think I was like, I'm gonna go to my truck and get a jacket, and the only jacket that I had was my snowmobile jacket. And you know what? That shit was comfortable as fuck. It's totally worth the money, a lot of money. I'll put it that way. Climb is not an inexpensive snowmobile gear brand, so. I'm gonna be honest, I don't have a ton to talk about tonight because I already crushed my first topic. I broke my phone, which is awesome. I used to have iPhones. I had an iPhone 4 and then I had an iPhone 4S, and working for the post office, I successfully broke both of them multiple times with that 4S. That 4S I would constantly drop. I never had a case for it because I was like, look how sturdy it is. It's this thick piece of fucking whatever. So I never had a case for that one. Because I just thought it was so sturdy. It didn't need one. It was not. I dropped it more than a few times and the glass broke, and whatever. But the thing is that with the iPhone, there's aftermarket parts. There's generic brand. That's the word that I'm looking for. There's generic brand parts for the iPhone. So it was I think it was $80 to fix the front. If you dropped it and broke the front, it was $80 to fix the front and $20 to fix the back if you broke the back. And that was the end of it. It was the front and the back. Which one'd you break? All right, let's fix them. With Samsung is super fucking greedy, and they don't allow any sort of generic part. There is no generic part for a Samsung phone. So I a long time ago, probably at least a year. I bought this phone. It's a Samsung Note 10. I got this phone in like March of 2020, and like maybe 3 or 4 months later, I had broken the front, but not badly. Like there was just a hairline crack, and it went right across the front camera, which is a terrible place to have a break on your phone. Went right across the front camera. So, but I dealt with it. I was like, whatever, it's fine. It'll be fine. No big deal. Like 2 weeks ago now, I was at the gym, and I dropped my phone, and it landed right on the edge of the phone. Like it landed right on the corner. Like I can't describe it. I can't describe it with words. Like it did not fall flat. All right. So maybe that's a good way to put it for starters. It didn't fall flat. It fell at a perfect angle that it just landed right on the corner. And as soon as it landed, I was like, that was not good. I know that sound was bad. And I picked it up, and sure enough, like there's an ink splat across the bottom of it. The top half of the touchscreen does not work. The only good thing with a Note 10 is that it has this cool little stylus that comes with it. So the stylus will work with the top half of the screen. I can use the stylus to do what I need to. But it is annoying to have to pull that stylus out every fucking time that I need the top of the screen. So I've been fooling around with, I don't know. The phone is paid for. That's part of the problem. It's paid for. I don't have to fucking worry about making a payment on a fucking phone. That's why I don't want to get rid of it. Because I could just go to AT&T and be like, oh, I'm going to get a fucking new Note 20, or, an S21, or whatever the other phone is, whatever phones they have going right now. I could just be like, okay, I'm just going to get whatever this is. But then it's a payment. Like Samsung has a phone called an A52, which is like their cheaper, smartphone. And it does all the things that I need it to, and it has a decent amount of storage on it. But it's $10 a month for the next 3 fucking years. Which in 3 years, that phone will in a year and a half, that phone will probably be dead. That phone will probably be useless in 18 months. That's how they get you now. That's exactly how they do it now. They want you to, get on board with their fucking here you go, make a payment for the next 36 months, and by the way, your phone's gonna be no good in 18, so you're gonna have to get a new phone anyways. So I've got no payment on this phone. The problem is that the screen itself is $300 to replace the front screen, because Samsung won't allow generic parts, so they can set their own price. They can be like, there's no other part. You can't get another part, so here you go. You're gonna have to use our part, and it's gonna cost you $300 to do the fucking front of this phone. So I've been fooling around with that. Which, by fooling around with it, I mean, toying with it in my head. What am I gonna do? And it seems like the most likely scenario is that I'm just gonna end up paying that $300 to replace the front of the phone, which sucks to eat that. But then I am under strict orders to get a better phone case than what I have, which I don't even know. Like, what are the good Samsung? Does anyone out there have a Note 10 or at least some sort of Samsung Edge screen that they have like a good phone case for? Because I've never really found one. I loved LifeProof. LifeProof makes a phone case for iPhone, but I don't think they make one for Samsung. OtterBox, I don't know if OtterBox makes a Samsung case. OtterBox isn't a bad fucking phone case brand, whatever. So I don't know. I'm probably gonna end up spending that much money, and then I'll fucking drop it again and break it again, and just be in this vicious cycle of I don't want to make a payment. So anyways, the only other thing that I had on my little topic list tonight was that I think I'm gonna break away from the dipping. You may, if you're watching the video, you may have seen me just pull out this little thing called Zyn. Oh look, it's got a green front, so it's blending in with my with my background with my green screen. So, but anyways, yeah, it's so last night, like I said, we were at the Rochester Fair with Kimmy and her friend Josh, and this guy Josh, he he pulls this thing out of his pocket, and it's Zyn, and I've seen them before, and I was like, hey, what's the deal with those? Because I've seen them, what's going on? I was like, because I use the Skull Apple pouches. What's up with those? And he explained it to me, and he told me that he used to dip, and he hasn't had a dip in a year now since he switched to these things. So he gave me one to try last night. I tried it. I didn't mind it. I liked it. It's different. There's still this feeling of something being in your mouth, because that was something like I've been thinking about this for like a couple weeks or maybe even a month now, of like I really need to quit this whole dipping thing. I only started, like I said, I started because, and it's true, half true, sort of true, that I heard like way at the beginning of COVID, nicotine will help you not be dipping. Yeah, or I'm sorry. Nicotine will help you not get COVID. Nicotine will help you not get COVID. So I was like, oh, I can start dipping again. It's a preventative for COVID. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it. I'll start doing that again. And it started off fairly innocently. Like I bought one can. I brought it to Gun Shop Guys on a Monday night, and I did one lip right before the show. I did one halfway through the show. I did one more right at the very end of the show. So it started off like that, and it was just on Mondays. And then like after 3 or 4 weeks, I was like, I'm gonna take the can with me to go home. And so I did that, and then I just kind of started snowballing from there. It was like, oh, I'm gonna do one on fucking Wednesday too. I'm gonna do one on fucking Friday. Fuck it, I'm gonna have one on Saturday. So I my mate is sending me like more show suggestions. Yeah, thank you, babe. So So yeah, so it started out, it just kind of snowballed from there. It just got like worse and worse and worse. And then before I know it, I'm doing 15 a day. Like that's not really an exaggeration, because there's 15 that come in a can, and I was going through about a can a day. And the other thing is that it was causing wicked heartburn. It still does. So yeah, about a month ago, I was like, I can stop doing this now. It's not really a thing that I need to be doing. But I also was like, I don't know how I'm going to stop. Like, there's like with cigarettes, you get, there's all sorts of things to stop smoking. They have gums, and they have fucking nicotine patches, and they have vape pens, and all these other sorts of things to get you to quit smoking. But when it comes to dip, there's not a lot of options. And I didn't know anything about these Zyn pouches until last night. So this kind of satisfies that urge of like having the thing inside your lip and getting the nicotine from it, and not, it also, I don't have to spit everywhere, which my mate is a big fan of. So yeah, these seem to be working out well. I had one dip today. It was the last one in the can, and I went to Cumberland Farms and bought this can of pouches, these Zyn pouches. Bought the can of those, and I've been using those all day. I accidentally swallowed one earlier, which was cool. I had one in my mouth, and I was cooking on the grill, and Ro came outside with like a chicken lollipop that she got at Market Square Day today. She was like, "Here, you want to try it?" So I tried it, and knowing that this fucking thing is in my mouth, I tried it thinking like, oh, I can just eat around it the same way that I do with, regular Skull all the time. And then I took like a few bites, and I was like, yep, that thing's gone. I don't know where it is. And then I leaned inside, and I was like, just so you know, I might start throwing up. I might start throwing up. And my mate is dancing outside the door for me. Yeah, we were talking. We were talking and laughing in the jacuzzi. So yeah, I was like, just so you know, I might start throwing up in like the next 15 or 20 minutes. And I just want you to know I'm totally fine. I just swallowed a pouch of nicotine and that's all. And she was like, okay, thanks for letting me know. And then I Googled it and it was like, yeah, you're fine. It's just like swallowing gum. There's not anything harmful in there. So, but I swallowed like a lip full of tobacco once many years ago, and I threw up right away. Like within 10 or 15 minutes, I started throwing up. So I kind of thought this would work the same way, but I guess not because of the lack of tobacco, because this is just a thing of nicotine. So, but either way, let me just hit on some of these topics that she sent me. That's my producer in the background. Um, she sent me so the Kingsman. Me and Ro are finally on the Kingsman train. We have been saying for probably at least a year, oh, I've never seen that movie. We should watch it sometime. And I bought it like probably, I don't know, February or something. I bought it on Amazon, but never watched it. I watched a little bit of it here and there, but never really finished it. So while we were up in Jackson, we were like, all right, fuck it, let's fucking finally watch that. So we watched the first one. Of course, we were drinking while we did, so neither of us remembered the last 10 minutes. And had to rewatch it the next day. Wasn't bad. It's like a little over the top at points, but that's okay. I don't mind movies that are over the top and defy all logic. That's fine. We bought the second one, the Kingsman Golden Circle. And we have about 40 minutes left of that movie, which we maybe will finish tonight. Hopefully, maybe. We'll see. We'll see when this is over. But so far, I remember it not being too bad. Might have to rewind a little bit to remind myself what the fuck is going on with it. What else is here? Part of Market Square Day today was the fun things that people say to police officers, especially. I get it too sometimes, but she got it a lot today. The typical, if you see a police officer, look, these are some suggestions for those of you out there. Don't do this ever, okay? Don't do it. It's played out. We get it. It's not funny. If you say it to a police officer and they laugh, understand they are forcing the laugh. They're not. You're not saying something original to them. You're not saying something they've never heard. They're laughing to appease you and make you think that you said something funny. Things like, if you're with a friend and you go, he did it, or he's the one you're looking for, that's one of them. Don't run my background. That's another one. Don't ever say to your kid, be careful or someday they'll come arrest you. Don't ever do that. All right. Don't do that one. That one's not, it's not funny, and B, it's bad it's bad like learning behavior for future reference. It should be, hey, if you're ever in trouble, that's who you go to. What are some of the other ones, babe?
Taekwondo, or that everybody's packing.
Oh yeah, every yeah, like she's wearing like tight jeans, tight t-shirt, and this guy's like, oh well, we know you're carrying. Like where, and don't answer the way that I think some of you are gonna answer. All right, it's not there either.
No, you're carrying.
Mm-hmm. I was carrying. I'm allowed to. It's okay. I have a Class 3 firearms license. The mailman. What was the one that I said to you at dinner? How many stamps do I need for this? I don't fucking know. All right. If you see a mail carrier, chances are they have no idea. If you hand a mail carrier a letter and you're like, "Is this enough stamps?" Sure. I'm probably no. I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna say I'm probably just gonna give you a yes, and just say, "Yep, go for it." That's not true. If you hand me a letter, and you say, hey, do you think I'm going to tell you straight out? I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. Do you think it has enough stamps? If the answer is no, add more stamps. If you think the answer is yes, then send it and see what happens. There's only two things that are going to happen. Either A, it's going to get sent back to you with a requirement for more postage, or B, it's going to go to the desired recipient, and they're going to have to pay for the rest of the stamps. Those are the only two things that are going to happen. It's not like we're going to throw it away halfway there. Yeah. Hey, Donnie, it's Sunday, and I saw a mail truck out today. Do you guys deliver? Yeah, we've been doing that for 10 fucking years. We've been delivering fucking Amazon for, okay, maybe not 10 years, 8 years. We've been delivering Amazon on Sundays for 8 years, all right? And yes, during Christmas, we have been delivering on Sundays during the Christmas season for probably way over 10 years. So, yeah, that's why.
Tip your mailman.
Yeah, tip your mailman. Yeah, give him presents. We tip our mailman very good. We tip Steve very well. Yeah, we give him whiskey and cash. And that is the best thing you can give your mail carrier. Whiskey and cash is what your mail carrier wants. In combination, not one or the other. So, the other thing that happened in North Conway, we're sitting there. We wanted to get a coffee. We woke up so fucking late. Oh my God. We slept until noon on Wednesday. I got one. Thank you, babe. We got to North Conway. We left here at like 6 o'clock at night on Tuesday. We got there at like 8. I think we finished watching we finished watching the movie at like 12:30, and we slept until noon on Wednesday. First of all, the room was so dark because the shades were so awesome, and the bed was just so goddamn comfortable, and Ro is so goddamn impossible to get out of bed with. This morning, I think it was this morning. Yeah, it was this morning. This morning I had to get up. I didn't have to get up. I didn't work today, but I had the alarm set for 8 o'clock this morning to get up and go to the gym. I probably rolled over and looked at her, I don't know, 5, 6, 10 times. And I tried so hard to hold my eyes open to get out of bed, and I just could not. So yeah, we didn't get out of bed until noon on Wednesday. And then we were like, all right, what do we want to do? We want, North Conway is fucking 10 feet away. I know that I'm stupid and didn't realize that North Conway was so close. I thought we were literally in the middle of nowhere. But you can't blame me. It's a place called Snowflake Inn in Jackson, New Hampshire. It sounds like it should be in the middle of nowhere. You take a right at the covered bridge. There was a covered bridge from like the 1800s that we had to go through that a truck can't go through. If they need to get a dump truck down this road, they have to unload the dump truck into wheelbarrows and then wheelbarrow it across the fucking bridge and then shovel it all into a new dump truck. So it's the oldest bridge in New Hampshire. So because it was built when the Pilgrims were here. So it was built when they didn't know what bridges were. They were still wading through water. And then they discovered that their horses didn't like being that deep in the water. But anyways, so we decided to go down to North Conway proper, down to North Conway Center we were going to go get a coffee, and we went to a train museum because I love trains. And we thought about riding the train, but it was a long wait to ride the train. But we'll do it sometime. It's a scenic tour on a train.
We had to be back for our champagne.
Yeah, we had to be back for our champagne. Champagne was coming at 5 o'clock, which it didn't even arrive on time. But I digress. So anyways, we go to this coffee shop, which was like an old bank. At least that's what I'm going to call it. I think it was a bank once upon a time because there was a thing on the outside that said alarm. So I assume it once upon a time was a bank. And it's next to a train station. You can't have an old-timey train station without a bank nearby. So I'm sure it's been held up 100 times. So we go to this coffee shop, nice place, expensive as fuck coffee. I think it was like $20 for 2 coffees and a thing of fruit, like a little fruit cup and a water. It was like $20. So expensive coffee, but good nonetheless. So we're sitting outside, and Ro, of course, being Ro, is striking up conversation with strangers, and the guy had a little Chihuahua with a little Punisher vest on. And so she's admiring the dog and talking to the dog. And and she had a Thor tank top on, and so she's talking to this guy, and the guy's wife was not there when she started talking, and then the guy's wife comes back and sits down, and I think she said something about like us having a lot in common, and this guy is sitting next to his wife, and he goes, "We have nothing in common," and he wasn't even joking. It wasn't even like a half a joke. Like it wasn't even like he was like, "We have nothing in common," and then laugh and be like, no, we literally have like me and Ro have so fucking much in common. But this guy's like, yeah, we have nothing in common. And he had to like fish for like, yeah, no, we don't even like the same TV. We don't like the same movies. We don't even like this dog. We don't agree on this dog. And
He looks at her and he goes, what?
he's like,
Common music?
he's like, I think we have music in common, right? Which I don't even know. That sounded forced by itself. That didn't even sound real. That sounded like they didn't agree on music either. And they didn't even look. And she did not even. She didn't look amused at all. She wouldn't even really look at us or him. She was kind of just like, yep. She looked annoyed more than anything. And she did not converse with us like he was conversing with us. But we walked away from there, and I was like, that is something I would never fucking say to someone with you sitting right next to me. Like, I would never look at another couple and be like, yeah, her and I, we have nothing in common. Like, why? What are you doing then? Are you just wasting time together? What's going on here? Have you two been just like sitting next to each other for the last 20 years going, I fucking hate this place. I can't wait till we're done. I'm just going to spend the next 80 years here and then pack my shit and leave. So, yeah, there was that. Last thing is graphite. Graphite tonight. Ro says, can you hit the litter box? I think one of the cats took a shit. And I said, sure, no problem. And then, I don't know. Ro is very different than me.
I can tell by the smells which one it is.
Yeah, she's like, which one was it? She can tell by the smell which one it was. I can't do that, nor can I tell by the look, because I get in there and she's like, who was it? And all I can see is 2 extra large Tootsie Rolls in the litter box. That's all. That's all. That's what I see is 2 logs. That's all she's like, who was it? And I'm like, I don't know. It's a piece of shit in here.
I don't know why I need to know, but I need to know.
And she says, you can't tell by the smell, first of all. And I'm like, well, no, I definitely can't tell. You can't tell by looking at it? No, I can't tell by looking at it either. And so I do the litter box, as one does. And then I go back to the grill, as one does. And then she says, oh, graphite, it was definitely graphite. He's got shit all around. He starts to drag his ass on the floor, which she picks up on right away. Like, he's trying to make the kitchen look like the starting line at New England Dragway. So she says, oh, he's got some shit stuck to his fur on his ass, because he's a Maine Coon, so there's a lot of hair. There's a lot of hair all over. So he's got shit stuck back there, and I can hear her fucking around with him. So then I'm like, hold on. She says, can you go get the baby wipes? I said, yeah, no problem. And, she knows where literally fucking everything is. I'm like, where are they? She's like, they're in the cabinet. They are behind the baking soda. They are underneath the trash can, 2 inches to the left of the of the trash bags. She knows exactly where everything. Back in July, I think, she went to a softball game in Maryland, and I surprised her by making peach cobbler. And while she's driving back here, I had to ask her where certain ingredients were. And I'm like, hey, do you have fucking ground cinnamon? She's like, yep, second cabinet next to the refrigerator, three rows behind this. I'm like, okay, all right, good. I'm glad that you know where literally everything is. So she directs me to the baby wipes, and then I come around, and she's on the floor with graphite holding him in place. And he's less than thrilled as we're doing this. And I'm back there with baby wipes. I must have gone through half a roll of baby wipes trying to get all of the shit out of his hair. just trying to get all this cat shit out of there, and it's not going anywhere. I mean, it's so bad. It's like, it's incredible the way that this was, because you can wipe as many times as you want to, and it seems like there's just more coming at all times, and he's getting angrier and angrier and angrier, and
Peanut butter.
yeah, it really was like peanut butter, and she's got like a knee on his neck. She's got the whole police stance going. She's got the.
Stop
She's
it.
got the.
Stop it. He's a black cat, you son of a bitch.
I didn't even mean it like that, and that is exactly how it came out.
Cat's lives matter.
Cat lives matter. So after about half an hour of of her in this position and him just getting angrier and angrier, she was like, "Why don't you just get the scissors?" And again, I was like, "Where are those?" Left draw. And I'm like, "Okay, here it is." And she's like, nine rows back under the batteries, 3 rows behind the triple A's, and then 2 behind the double A's. And so I get the scissors, I get down, I cut all of his hair away from his ass, which hopefully, if anything, the biggest benefit is that maybe he won't get any more fucking cat shit around there for at least a little bit. Maybe. He's sitting on the ground right now. He knows I'm talking about him. He's not happy about it. There, I filled up almost an hour. Special thanks to my mate for the assist. I love you back. I love you more. She's got softball in the morning. I've got my own stuff to do in the morning. The end of our 5 days off. We just had 5 days off together, which has been awesome. Well, I guess we're wrapping up day 4 right now. We've got tomorrow off together too. But yeah, we had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off together.
MasterChef sucks.
Yeah, MasterChef. Less than stellar ending to MasterChef. If any of you out there happen to follow that, we finished season 11 and season 20 of MasterChef and Hell's Kitchen, respectively. Yeah, last night and tonight, and my mate not thrilled with either outcome. Personally, I'm okay with Hell's Kitchen. Trenton getting the big W on Hell's Kitchen, I'm okay with that. And Kelsey getting the W. Sorry, spoiler alert for those of you that gave a fuck about the show.
Kaya?
Kelsey
Kaya.
got 3rd place on Hell's Kitchen.
Kaya.
On Hell's Kitchen.
Kaya.
Yeah, you keep yelling Kaya. I keep saying on Hell's Kitchen. Kelsey
Kaya.
on MasterChef.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kelsey on MasterChef. Kelsey got the W on MasterChef, and we thought it should have been Autumn from Massachusetts. And Kelsey looked like she had a good dessert in MasterChef, but that's about it. And the whole thing was supposed to be based on the meal as a whole, and we thought that Autumn really brought her A game. So Autumn, in the highly unlikely chance that you ever tune into this show, don't worry, we were rooting for you. A couple people from New England, couple fellow New Englanders. So that's gonna do it for me. Don't forget to check out the sponsors to the show: 4HM Clothing, Mile High Angel, AdamEve.com, and Manscaped.com. Offer code adulting at all of those. 4HM Clothing is 10% off your entire order over $50. Mile High Angel is 10% off your order. AdamEve.com, 50% off any one item plus free shipping. Manscaped.com is 20% off your order plus free shipping. So that is going to do it for me. The suicide prevention line, 1-800-273-8255. Pay attention to the Gun Shop Guys channel if you still follow that show. Pay attention to the Gun Shop Guys channel. Something happening with that channel on that live stream, on that feed, that RSS feed, in your podcast apps. Something happening there this week. Okay? I've been teasing that for only like the last fucking 12 weeks. But something happening there this coming week. So stay tuned for that. And that was going to do it for me. Bye, guys. Excuse me. Thanks for the assist.
Cats' lives matter.
Cat's lives matter. He had the knee on the neck. The police stance, the knee on the neck.
That's awful. That's so awful. I was like, no! Oh, God.